It's funny how life works. Sometimes the absolute worst moments, the toughest challenges, well, they end up being our greatest teachers. Today, we're going to dig right into that. We're going to break down the anatomy of those moments that completely transform us.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. What's the single hardest lesson life has ever thrown at you? I mean, really take a second and think about it. That one experience that just tested you to your core. Got it? Good. Hold on to that memory, because we're about to build a framework to understand exactly what was happening in that moment.
Okay, so here's the core idea for today. Hardship isn't just something you have to get through. It's often the very thing that sparks our most significant growth. You've heard the saying, right? Immense pressure creates a diamond. Well, that's not just a cliche. It's the foundation for everything we're about to explore. Every single one of these stories, every hard-won lesson, starts in the same place, somewhere comfortable, somewhere familiar. We're going to call this first act the setup. This is basically our life before the challenge shows up. Now, this phase looks and feels completely normal. We're deep in our comfort zone, pretty much running on autopilot with our old habits. Our beliefs about the world, about ourselves, they haven't really been put to the test yet. Everything just feels stable, predictable, and honestly, safe. You can kind of see how it unfolds on this timeline. First, we establish a routine. Then, we settle into this nice period of comfort. And we exist in a state of, let's be real, blissful ignorance. We don't see the storm gathering on the horizon. We're just cruising along, completely unaware that our world is about to get turned upside down. And that brings us to our second act, the crucible. Now, this isn't just a tough day. This is the moment everything pivots. This is the trial by fire. This is the absolute heart of the experience. It could be a massive failure, a devastating loss, a betrayal, or some kind of harsh realization that just shatters your sense of reality. All of a sudden, the map you've been using is useless. The path you are on is just gone. You're completely and totally lost. It's that sinking feeling, isn't it? The one that whispers, everything I thought I knew was wrong. It's a moment of total disorientation, where all the rules you lived by suddenly don't apply anymore. Your core beliefs are shaken. It's painful, it's confusing, and it is an absolutely critical moment. So, when you're in it, when you're in that crucible and everything's fallen apart, what do you do? How do you find your way through the fire? Well, it turns out there's one essential tool that allows us to not just survive it, but to actually forge something new in the heat. And that tool is introspection. It sounds like a big, fancy word, but it's simple. It's the act of turning inward, of being brutally honest and examining your own thoughts and feelings. It's when you start asking the hard questions. What was my role in this? What did I believe that just wasn't true? What really matters to me now? This is how you start making sense of all the chaos. And taking that inward journey, well, that brings us to our final act, the transformation. This is the after picture. This is what we become once we emerge from that crucible, forged by the experience. Just look at this contrast. It's pretty stark. We go from having these rigid beliefs to a much more flexible perspective. That crippling fear of failure gets replaced by an understanding that, hey, failure is just part of growth. And this one is huge. We shift from blaming everyone and everything else to taking real internal accountability. It's like a complete rewiring of how we see the world. This whole process results in two powerful, hard-won outcomes. They might sound like simple words, but believe me, they are earned through fire. They are resilience and maturity. So what is resilience really? Think of it like a muscle you build in the gym. It's not about avoiding hardship or never getting knocked down. It's all about developing the strength to get back up again, maybe even stronger than before. It's the proof that you can survive things you once thought would break you. And maturity? Well, that's the wisdom that comes from that resilience. It's the ability to finally see the bigger picture. It's learning to manage your emotions instead of being controlled by them. It's that calm perspective that comes only from experience, from having been through it. So why does all this matter? Why break it down like this? Because this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a map for understanding the most important story of all, your own. This three-act structure, the setup, the crucible, the transformation, is a really powerful tool for self-reflection. You can use it to look back and make sense of the hard times, and you can use it to help you navigate the challenges you might be facing right now. So let's try to apply this framework. Go back to that hard lesson you thought of at the beginning. Can you identify your setup, what your reality was like before?
Can you name the turning point, that critical moment of crisis? And most importantly, can you define your transformation? Who did you become because of it?
And that leaves us with one final, powerful question to think about. Because growth is never really finished, is it? We are always in some stage of this cycle. So I want you to take a look at your life today and just ask yourself, what crucible is shaping me right now? And what transformation is waiting on the other side?